really important.
Hi, YouTube. Miss me? I'm coming to you again today, wearing the same clothes, to talk to you about the income tax. And my wife has encouraged me to bring up a point about Ron Paul. And remember, if I'm speaking, it's because I'm hoping to persuade people to vote for Ron Paul. So that's the whole purpose. Ron Paul was criticized by the media for not voting for a bill in Congress one time that would have given an award in honor of Rosa Parks. I don't know if you guys remember that. Do you remember that? And Ron Paul voted against it. And that was a point of criticism. Why would you vote against a bill to award Rosa Parks? And his response was reminiscent of a response by a previous congressman named, hopefully you'll all remember this name, Davy Crockett. And Ron Paul stood up in the halls of Congress and he said, look, I will personally donate my own money to pay for this award for Rosa Parks. But I cannot, in good conscience, spend taxpayer money to give this award. Because the taxpayers did not elect us to spend their money on awards for Rosa Parks. I will personally finance it. Here's $100. I will give $100, and if everybody in this chamber will offer up $100 of their own money, then we can afford to buy this award. But we cannot spend taxpayer dollars, which were given to us in a sacred trust, on this award.
Much better, maybe.
So, I mean, that's what it comes down to. It comes down to, do you believe in the Constitution or not? Do you, when you take your oath, when you swear to defend and uphold the Constitution, do you mean it? And any congressman who voted for that award did not think about what they were doing, or they were acting in a way that they clearly understood to be in conflict with the Constitution. And that's where the income tax is. The income tax is in conflict with the Constitution. The federal government allows us to keep a certain percentage of our income. Wrap your mind around that. They allow us to keep a certain percentage of our income. That means they own all of it, right? So if the tax rate is 35%, then they allow us to keep 65% of our income. But there's nothing to stop them from setting the tax rate at 100%, is there? You ever think about that? Does that sound like a system that the Founding Fathers would have embraced? That we are slaves to the state? I don't think so. Ron Paul says he wants to get rid of the income tax and replace it with nothing. He wants to return the federal budget to the levels of the year 2000. And he says he can accomplish this by changing our foreign policy. By pulling the troops back from Iraq, Korea, Germany, Turkey, Japan. I served in the military. I was a Marine. I did my time. I was a member of the few, the proud, the dead on the beach. And I survived. A military that does not seek to create an empire is a completely different military than what we have today. So, if you think that it's unrealistic to abolish the income tax, then you think that it's unrealistic to abolish the American empire. And if you are in support of the American empire and you think that we should control the world and we should interfere in the internal affairs of other nations, then you can't support Ron Paul because you're a fucking fascist. But if you love freedom and you love honesty, you don't have a choice. You have to vote for him.